On day 3, you would have your students practice the skill by writing imitation sentences. Remember, an imitation sentence is a sentence that closely resembles a mentor sentence in terms of structure and usage of a particular grammar skill. So earlier, my mentor sentence was Mr. Tannen is the principal of the Lyndhurst Elementary School, and my imitation sentence was Mrs. Nace is the librarian at the Elizabethtown Public Library. So you can see how I changed out some of the words, but the overall structure is the same. Why use imitation sentences? Well, writing imitation sentences provides a guided and practical application of grammar skills in students' writing. So earlier in my career, when I would have my students practice a grammar skill, I would likely pull out the workbook or a center activity and have students correct errors or sort or whatever, activities like that. And that is just not super useful because they're not getting that guided practice for how to apply the skill in writing. So this activity is just much more authentic. What you're doing is you're offering that guided practice and how to write sentences that include that targeted grammar skill. And this is really preparing your students now to be able to go ahead and apply this grammar skill in their own independent writing. Here are the steps for this mini lesson. Step 1, project the mentor sentence that you used to introduce the skill on day 1. Review the focus phrase. Step 2, model how to write an imitation sentence that resembles the mentor sentence. And step 3, invite students to write imitation sentences as a whole class in pairs or independently, then celebrate their writing. So let me show you how to implement this lesson. So I would start this mini lesson by showing our mentor sentence again. Mr. Tannen is the principal of the Lyndhurst Elementary School, and review how good authors use capitals for names of people and places, our focus phrase, and then say, okay, together we're going to write an imitation sentence that is similar to this sentence here. So can anyone think of a name of a specific person? Good, Dr. Brown. Remember those capitals because it's a name. Yep, is the doctor. Doctor does not need a capital. It's a common noun. It does not name the specific doctor. At the Hershey Medical Center. That is a name of a hospital, so we are going to include capitals for all of those words. It's a proper noun. Good. All right, that is a great imitation sentence, and now you are prepared to write your own imitation sentences that have proper nouns. Then you would explain that it's their chance to write their own imitation sentences. They can do this in partners, or they can do it independently. You could have them write their sentences on whiteboards or on sentence strips, or you could create a worksheet for that. And you'd probably just want to have them write 2 to 4 imitation sentences, maybe set a timer, and that should only take probably 5 to 10 minutes. With my students, I like to use an imitation sentences worksheet that I already have pre-made, and I just put the mentor sentence in a box there, and then the students can write imitation sentences below. And this keeps it nice and organized for them. And some weeks I would have my students do this exercise in pairs, and other weeks I'd have them do it independently. And the last part of this mini lesson is celebrating students' imitation sentences and observing how they correctly use capitals for names of people and places. So perhaps you'd want to go back to that worksheet that you just did on imitation sentences and put some of your students' worksheets under a document camera and just really celebrate how students used proper nouns and specific names of people and places and discuss what they were and just really give each other positive feedback and encouragement about how they use proper nouns in their writing. Or maybe instead of a document camera, you could have your students partner up and share their sentences and give each other positive feedback. You could invite another class to come in to share them with. However you want to celebrate, just make sure you really make a big deal that your students are applying the targeted grammar skill in their writing.